Heck, he scared me.
Good signal, Jim. Talking to Jim a little bit on the HF DX beacons here in a little while also. Any other stations with or without traffic on either of the two Republic repeaters call out? KCWH, no traffic. Morning, Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. This is Alpha Charlie 8, November Papa. No traffic. Good morning, Mike. CWH. Good still, Mike. Good to hear you this morning. And good morning, Danny. C8NP. Also sound real good into the repeater this morning. Thanks for checking in, Dan. Anyone else on either of the two Republic repeaters with or without traffic called out? Continue. Let's pause for a second. Are there any stations that may have formal NTS traffic that they would like to list on the net here this morning? If you have any traffic to list for the net, called out. All right, just want to make sure that way we can get your traffic moving quickly. As we go along, if you do have traffic later on the net, that's fine. We can still take it at any time. Just get my attention when you can. All right, again, this is the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Any other stations on either of the two Republic repeaters called out? How about the poll repeater? Anybody on the UHF 443.625 repeater with or without traffic called out? Wait, Romeo Whiskey, November. Tom in New London. Good morning, Jeff. Morning, Tom. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Whiskey, November. Good signal, Tom. Rock solid into the repeater this morning from New London, Ohio. Thanks for checking in. Anybody else on the Polk repeater call out? All right. Stations on the Mansfield repeater. That's the 443.075 machine with or without traffic call out. This is WB8REI, the North Central Ohio Information Traffic Net. Now looking for stations on either of the three Berlin Heights repeaters. That's the 146.805, the 442.675, or the 6-meter 53.29 machines. Anybody with or without traffic call out?
Morning, Jeff. NHFMJ. Time up there in Erie County.
KE8, VOX, Scott, in Vermilion Township. No traffic.
Morning, Jeff. KB80, J in Elyria Township.
N8XLQ, Lenny, on the 805 with a double crossband repeating into YouTube. It's running. Good morning.
Nice group. Good morning, Tom. NEFMJ. Nice signal, Tom, from Erie County this morning. Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-ray. Good morning, Scott. Great signal from Vermilion Township this morning. Kilo Bravo 8, he's got set up there. So take advantage of it and check it out. All right. Anybody else in either of the or any of the three Berlin Heights repeaters with or without traffic call now?
KBATNA, Clay. Oh, morning, Jeff.
Morning, Clay. EB8DNA. Good signal from Norwalk this morning, Clay. You're moving in there. Thanks for checking in with us. Anyone else on any of the three Berlin Heights repeaters with or without traffic call now?
Kilo Echo 8, Delta Romeo Romeo. Good morning, Jeff.
Troy. Kilo Echo 8, Delta Romeo Romeo. Good signal, Troy. Everybody sounds really good this morning. Thank you for checking in. Anybody else on any of the Berlin Heights repeaters? How about the Elyria UHF repeater, 443.9875? Anybody with or without traffic call now?
Kilo Echo 8, Tango, Sierra, Victor, Jerry in Grafton. Good morning, Jeff.
November 8th, Lima X-ray Yankee Mobile in Homestead Township.
Kilo Bravo 8, Mike Victor Tango. Good morning.
Kilo Delta 8, Tango Oscar. Tom in North Ridgeville. Good morning. All right, thanks, group. You got everybody. Let's see, I got Kilo Echo 8, Tango Sierra Victor. Good morning, Jerry. Nice signal from Grafton. Lenny LXY Mobile. Hey, good morning to that station in Homestead Township. Nice signal from the mobile. Kilo Delta 8, Tango Oscar. Good morning, Tom. Nice signal from North Ridgeville this morning. And Kilo Bravo 8, Mike Victor Tango. Really nice signal. I didn't catch your name or your location, and I just wanted to double check with you to see if you've checked in here before. KMVT, back to you.
KBMPT, I'm in Elyria, Ohio. This is my first time checking in, ever.
Right. Well, welcome to the net. And let me turn you over to Jim just for a second here. KEERN. He's going to get your first name from you there and get you entered into our log, actually. And we just try to keep track of the number of new call signs we got. He'll tell us which number you are. I know we're on our way to 300 different call signs, so Good morning, Jeff. Kilo Charlie 8, Papa Bravo Uniform. KC8 PBU, Dan in Bascom. Gotta say good morning to Bill there. And I got some weather and some ISS stuff, Jeff. KC8 PBU.
it's just special.
Guess that depends on how you look at it. All right, reverse polarity sunspot AR3296 just unleashed a double solar flare.
How'd Jeff know I said that?
It says extreme ultraviolet radiation from the double blast ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere, causing a shortwave radio blackout over North America and the Pacific Ocean. The mariners and ham radio operators may have noticed loss of signal at frequencies below 25 megahertz, which would have been yesterday at about between 1 p.m. and about 3 p.m. So yesterday This is really interesting. The latest ionogram, I've never seen this before. They show the ionogram from the ionoson in Alpena, Michigan. Has no collected data to speak of, not really. And a lot of it probably has to do with this latest solar flare has caused issues with its ability to collect data. So let me back up to the previous ionogram. And in the previous ionogram, which was at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, is quite limited also. Let me back up another one. They're really incomplete data for the ionograms. I'm just going to say it's probably related to the latest solar flares that causes so much absorption at the D layer that they do not see reflections coming back like they normally would. This is the first time I've ever seen this before. I went back like 45 minutes, and this thing updates every 15 minutes. So it's the first time I've ever experienced that. So we'll leave that alone. Let's go over to Jim and see what kind of report Jim has for us with regard to HFDX beacons. KERN. What can you tell us, Jim? WBAREI, over to you. Jim, fine business. Yeah, I wish I would have had the muff here, the maximum usable frequency from the ionoson, just to kind of match up with your real report from the DX beacons that you caught at 8:30 this morning. I'm literally looking at the graph right now. And like I said, the M-class solar flare took place at 10:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you were actually listening on the HF band before this M-class solar flare that we just experienced within the last half hour or so. So interesting band conditions. You know, in the immediate, it causes bad things, right? A lot of D-layer absorption. portions of all of Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and states further east and west will all be under marginal to fair conditions. But there's a swath here in northwest Ohio that's going to have strong conditions for tropospheric ducting. Again, that'll be Saturday, May the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everybody, turn on your 2-meter radio and call CQ. Sightman would be nice. Simplex would be okay too. And check out the UHF band while you're at it. Maybe check out your APRS map and see if things aren't hopping Saturday evening. Again, about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 2 meters and 440. And let us know when we talk next week what you might have experienced. Let's see if this forecast map has any validity to it. The WB8REI, this is the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Do we have any other stations that would like to check in? Anyone that would like a signal report or any returning stations called out?
KE8PX returning from the OSSBN with no traffic.
KE8PX got you back, no traffic. Thank you again for taking care of that for us. Much appreciated. Wanted to remind everybody as we go further into the net, as we get closer to about 3/4 of the way in or towards the end, we're going to look at our HeatKit DX60 schematic block diagram. We're going to talk about that. Earn yourself a point towards earning a candy bar of your choice. And we'll have some fun and learn about reading schematics. So again, if you haven't already done that, just Google HeatKit DX60 schematic, and you'll find an online schematic and a block diagram and all kinds of information on the HeatKit DX60. All right, let's take a look at our conditions with regard to the amateur radio on the International Space Station. They haven't updated anything, let's see, since May 5th, so nothing big time happening there at the moment. Again, you can still have the radio in the Columbus module, crossband FM repeat, and they're going to be shut off. We shut off May the 12th at about 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then they'll turn the radios back on May the 13th, and that will be at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be aware of that if you're trying to work through the crossband FM repeater. There will be further announcements on other off periods when they're doing maintenance. Remember, you transmit at 145.99 with a PL tone of 67, and you receive on 437.800. That same off period also goes for the Kenwood radio and APRS packet mode, which transmits and receives on 145.825. Now, just a little side note, if I haven't looked, but if there is a pass sometime Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon when band conditions are up, it would be interesting to see what that footprint, if it has any effect on making that footprint even larger than what it normally is on APRS packet on 145.825. And it may not have any effect, being that that's a low Earth orbiting satellite. But it'd be interesting to see. And so get your packet APRS software up and running. Why take a listen Saturday evening on 145.825, or take a listen on the AP national frequency and see what band conditions look like there. Hopefully your map will be populated with all kinds of packet APRS stations. As far as school contacts go, they're
must be privately owned. Back to you, Jeff.
Yeah, fine business. Very good, Gary. Yeah, you mentioned the Radio Shack store there in Willard. Yeah, we talked about that before on this and that. It's probably been a few years ago now. But there was a time there when I brought up some of the Radio Shack stores that are still out there. And yeah, I believe they are all individually owned now. Different individuals do own them, and yeah, that's correct. There is one still in Willard. So, geez, for anybody listening, I've not been over there to see it, but I imagine they probably stock a small amount of parts maybe there, and who knows what all else. So, yeah, if you're in the Willard area, geez, definitely check out the Radio Shack store there. And thanks for the update, Gary. And that goes for anybody. If you come across a Radio Shack store, any place you're at, well, let us know, and we'll announce it here on the repeater. It's kind of a cool thing to know about. At least I think it is, too. 8 yards of mulching. Man, you're working your butt off up there. Is it hot yet?
It's rather pleasant, but I'm all done with that. Then I gotta dig out the zero turn and chop down what I got left of over an acre and a half, I think. So, back to you, Jeff. And you did a good job on that WW80.
Very fine business. Well, you sound like you're hard at work up. Definitely hard at work up there for sure. Thanks for taking a minute, though, jumping in here and checking in and sharing the Radio Shack information with us here. So there you go, everybody. Radio Shack in Willard, Ohio. Check it out if you're in the Willard, Ohio area for sure. Thanks again, Gary. WW8H Portable, and then that WB8REI or Central Ohio Information and Traffic. Now, anybody else before we go over to Dan? All right, without further ado, PCBU, Dan, it's all yours.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning to everybody else on the net. Here we go with a little bit of weather. And by the way, this forecast is specific for Bascom, Ohio. So I mentioned that. That's right from the National Weather Service. Today, sunny high near 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 50. Thursday, sunny, high near 81. Yes, you heard me right, 81. Thursday night, increasing clouds, low around 58. And that would be the end of the nice weather. Friday, here we go with the rain. Chance of showers, and showers likely. And thunderstorms in the forecast. Chance of precipitation, 70%. High near 74. Friday night, you're talking about thunderstorms again, so be careful with your gear there, guys. And the Friday night low is going to be 61, so that's kind of nice. Saturday, chance of showers, high near 73. Saturday night, chance of showers before 2 a.m. with a low near 54. And Sunday, chance of showers after 8 a.m., mostly cloudy, high near 87. So, as with any spring-type activities, of course, it includes rain in the forecast, unfortunately. But, hey, it's nice out there. We'll have a nice next couple days, so everybody enjoy it. Okay, on to the space stations, and this week I've got nothing but ISS. I don't know what happened to the tie-in gun. So anyhow, here we go. ISS Thursday, May 11th, 5:30 a.m. it enters, 5:37 a.m. it exits. It enters from the northwest, exit out the southeast. Maximum elevation 79 degrees, and the magnitude is a negative 4.0. So that looks like a real nice pass. As long as the clouds behave. And I was talking to AC8SB earlier. He said the Toledo guys up there on 13 ABC was featured in this pass this morning, so they were talking about it on the air too. So that's pretty cool. Okay, pass number 2.
usually got my coffee in my hand and eat a bowl of cereal or something there, and gives me a good opportunity there to take a look out on the deck there. Yeah, 79 degrees with a -4 Thursday morning. That's going to be a really nice one. And there's some other real nice passes in there too. So we got it jotted down. Hope everybody else did too. If you haven't got a chance to look at it, definitely do that. I have a little report, and I was going to give it last week on the status of the ISS, and I doggone should have added it here this week. But there's some good news there where the Russians and some of the other participating countries are going to continue to operate on the ISS, looking towards 2028, I think, for nations, and maybe even 2030 for everyone else. So the ISS is going to stay up there operating. Best we know, at least at this time. So that was kind of good news. The weather forecast, very fine. There were some really nice warm temperatures in the showers you mentioned. They're kicking in there starting Friday and then Saturday. Will make the grass grow, and I mean it's growing fast now. Matter of fact, we'll be cutting grass either later tonight or definitely tomorrow for sure. Thank you, Dan. Well, as always, appreciate all that information. Anybody got any questions or anything with regard to Dan's ISS report or weather report? Call now. Let's check with Bob here, see how Bob's doing today, WAAJBD. Bob, I'm going to turn it over to you with all the special event stations, and DE test stations, and AmFest stuff. The mic's yours.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, and good morning to everybody on the net. Well, we don't have a Hamfest this weekend, but we're only 9 days away from the Dayton Ham Convention at the Xenia at the Green for the weekend, I'll know maybe what's being forecasted there. JC, PBO.
Man, awesome. We'll look forward to that. There you go, everybody. Get your seeing date and Hamfest weather forecast here at the next Wednesday. They'll have the info for us. Appreciate that, Dan. That's a good idea. I think everybody will find that very useful information. Then we can dress accordingly. We'll keep our fingers crossed. keep going here. All right, so everybody's already, we've talked about it already, Armed Forces Day, but I'm going to mention it again because I think it's well worth it. That's this Saturday, Armed Forces Day, the crossband test. Now, if you've never done it, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. It might be something you could try that's a little bit different. And so I have the schedule in front of me. Let me tell you a couple things about it. Well, you can go to the Armed Forces Day website, and you can find the same schedule that I am looking at, so you can have all the detailed station times and frequencies and all that. But I kind of broke it down here a little bit to get the basic meat and potatoes out of it. They're going to transmit an Armed Forces Day defense message, and they're going to send it just 2 times this Saturday. There's a case where if you just want to copy a transmission, you can do that. The first one's going to be transmitted at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then they'll do it one more time at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep that in mind. 10 a.m. in the morning, Saturday, and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And that will be the Armed Forces Day Defense Message. Now, it's going to be done on a whole bunch of different frequencies by a whole bunch of different military stations. I thought I would just pick one of those out. And so let's do that. And the one I chose to pick is called WAR, and that's the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And so at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, if you tune your radio to 14.3835 megahertz, okay, that's 14.3835 megahertz upper sideband, they will transmit the Armed Forces Defense Message. First, they're going to do it in serial PSK. If you have the ability to copy Mill Standard M110 PSK, you'll be able to copy that. As soon as they're done with that, they're going to transmit it again in RIDI. It'll be Mill Standard Y Shift, it's called, FSK, 850 hertz RIDI. So if you have the ability to do that, you can copy that immediately after they do it in the PSK format. And then the last transmit on the frequency they give you, which will be in the amateur band. Pay attention so that you don't get it backwards. Otherwise, you're going to be transmitting outside the amateur band, and you don't want to do that. A lot of them on there, if you're curious, they're going to have the Merrill Army Reserve Center in Kentucky is going to be on. U.S. Northern Command in Colorado will be on. Camp Foster in Okinawa. Robins Air Force Base in Warner Robins, Georgia is going to be on the air. They got the Naval Support Activity Mid-South in Millington, Tennessee. Cyberspace Operations Directorate in Fort Meade, Maryland is going to be on. Hancock Field in New York will be on. Scott Air Force Base in Illinois is going to be on the air. Travis Air Force Base in California. They got a whole bunch of ships. The USS Yorktown, the USS Iowa, the USS Midway, and the LST or the List 325 in Evansville, Indiana. All those will be on. A whole bunch more. So again, if you're going to be around Saturday, man, get your radio on the air and try this. It's really neat. It's really interesting. It's a lot of fun. Anybody got any questions file is set first, and when the HTML file saves, open a new web browser window, click the Receive Files button on Easy DRF to open the file, save it in the folder, drag it, drop it, and into the web browser, and you'll be on your way here. It says the HTML page will open, and it will display stats on the Receive Files in the top right corner. Images will automatically load into the page as they progressively decode and save. It says automatic image loading stops after image 12 is loaded or after 30 minutes. The images are enhanced for display using a custom SVG filter.
yes, I do see that. And I just thought it was really cool that a guy was using a different brand VFO and obviously modified the connection, the interface to the DX60 to make it work. I mean, this is stuff that I used to do when I was a kid, and it just brought me back. That's it, Jeff. Thank you for the information.
Thank you, Ron, for jumping in here and participating and asking a question there. And isn't that the stuff of amateur radio is all about experimenting? That's one of many things that make it such a great hobby is the opportunity to go in and experiment, try different things. So pretty clever on that gentleman's part that he was able to take a different manufacturer's VFO and adapt it to work with the Heathkit DX60. Sounds like he may need to make some changes there in that voltage regulator, maybe, or there could be other things too. But he's definitely on the right track if he's got it working. He just sounds like he just needs to get it to be more stable so that it doesn't drift when he initially talks, that sort of thing. But that's not uncommon when you're trying to make things like that work together. Very good, though. Yeah, super cool. Anybody else? Any questions or something you want to describe or a component or anything? Call out. JBT. JBT. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, Jeff, look at the schematic and I also see the VFO input, which would be the signal in the top left of my schematic, and it's going directly into the switch, the crystal switch, which would then power, I guess, power the Heathkit VFO. I'm just wondering if you're using another brand of external, if it had its own power supply rather than taking power from the DX60 WAJBT.
Oh, absolutely. Bob, thanks for pointing that out. Bob pointed something out I completely missed. And so Bob's looking over towards the left side of the diagram, and it literally says VFO input. And I don't have the actual picture of that Heathkit external VFO in front of me, but yeah, I know it had that unusual accessory connector that goes on the back that we see where I pointed out on the right side of the diagram, and that is strictly for voltage. In other words, the VFO, external VFO, gets its high voltage from the DX60. The only thing, other thing that I was going to mention was last week, I got a chance to talk with Jim here, KEE, and we were talking about the Rig Experts AA35 Zoom antenna analyzer, and we were questioning an inductance value that appeared in the operating manual on page 11. And so this shows 259.1 nanohenries, and that is correct, obviously, right? So the big mistake was me and Jim punching numbers in incorrectly. And so if you make sure you pay close attention to your decimal points, because that's the tricky part, you will come out with 259.1 nanohenries. And so that's the formula for that is just inductive reactance, which in this case, in this example, is 28.5 divided by 2 pi, which is 6.28, times the frequency. And in my example, I put in 17.5 times 10 to the 6th, which would be like 17.5 megahertz. So if you do everything right, you have to really pay attention to those exponents and where the decimal point is. But if you do it properly, it comes out to 259 nanohenries, which is just what the display shows. All right, anybody questions or comments on the Rig Experts? All right, I think we'll wrap it up here. Anybody with any announcements, final comments, queries, anything for the good of the net, call now. Sounds very quiet. I'm ready to go eat lunch. I think everybody else is too. Thank you guys for checking in here today. I think we got one more week left on the Heathkit DX60, and then we'll pick something different. We'll reach into the hat and see what else we can pull out here. Try to look at something a little bit differently. Again, don't forget this weekend, Armed Forces Day, crossband test. Get on the radio, make some contacts. There's a CQM International DX contest going on this weekend. And let's see, not until the end of the month, end of May 27th and 28th is the big CQ Worldwide WPX contest. And that's the CW one, so that'll be here at the end of the month. Other than that, get a Ron, KAPX, for being my HF liaison station this morning. Thanks to Dan and Bob for the weather and weather information and all the Hamfest information. Thanks to Pat for the use of the repeater, and thanks to Lenny for the YouTube connection. Don't forget, take a look at Lenny Round XLQ's YouTube page, and you can see your signal there and listen to what your radio sounds like. That's all we got for now. We'll catch you all here next week at 10:15 a.m. Everybody have a wonderful week. Get on the radio and get outside and have some fun. 73s, everybody. WBREI and the North Central Ohio Information Traffic Net are now clear at 12:23. See ya.
All right, there it is. November 8, X-Ray, Lima, Quebec. Lenny, over here in Huron City. You guys have an awesome day, and we'll do it again next week. God willing, we're all still here. 73s, gang.